YouTube. In this video I'm going to be looking at some flocking. In the previous video I've shown you the plastic trim around the base of the driver's seat, which I have already flocked in black. I've already done the door card on the passenger side and a couple of other little bits of trim. So what I've got is a piece in the back which I'm going to flock, which goes around the slider door handle, which I will show you the process, the glue, the flocking, etc. And then I'm going to as well refit the door card on the driver's side, which I've already flocked, but I'm just going to show you the process of how to put it back on, some of the tools you might need, etc. Okay, here we go. So before we get started, let's have a look in the box. So we get the flocking applicator. So I'll just demonstrate. Once you filled it in there, you just puff it out. You can see it just comes out. Okay. Get the glue. You get a big paintbrush, and you get the flocking powder material. So this is the bit of plastic I'm going to cover. You might recognise it. The lock part of the handle goes in there, and obviously the actual handle itself is here. So what you need to do to start with is give it a thorough clean. So all clean, bar this little scratch here, but you won't see it, that's fine. So the first stage is to get the glue. We're going to add the glue. You've got about 5 minutes to work with it, so I'm not going to film me adding the glue, but I'll obviously start the footage when I begin to add the flocking material. So before we do anything, we need to load our flocking material into the flocking applicator. Covered in the glue, and the process starts literally by puffing the powder onto the surface, making sure that you're covering it completely everywhere that you actually want the fabric flock to sit. Now, a couple of tips when doing the glue is to take your time and make sure you cover all the areas. You do get a little time to patch up during the process, but what you don't want is runs of glue everywhere, because it will clog up. Now, sorry I wasn't chatting much, telling you how to do it. I was concentrating. So when you think you've covered it all, pick her up. I'll put mine on a glass, give it a little shake, allow some of the excess to come off, and then have a look for any bits that might need a little bit more. Place it down and try and get those last bits. And then when you think you've finished, you've got to just leave it and let it dry. So here it is, all done. I'm going to fit it back into the van and see what she looks like. There she is back in the van. So I'll just pop my curtain back on. She looks a lot smarter. Very chuffed with that one. So as you can see, this is the door without its trim on. I just wanted to show you behind the door before I started setting up and fitting the actual panel. You can see I've got my aftermarket window loom. I just stuck some electrical tape on it just to sort of tidy it up a little bit, but I wanted to show you the holes. where the door actually pops on. So you've got one here, you've got one here. There's 3 along the bottom, although my door seems to have a couple of extra holes in, so I can only presume that at some stage it had a different door card on it, or it's a different door. But then you find hidden treasures as you go along, and obviously the pops go in the sides on the way up here too. Across the top of the door, that's where you screw the actual door handle in, which supports the top, and then there's another screw in the middle of the door too. So this is the door panel, and as you can see, I've done some flocking across the top in black. The door handle release again in black, and that surrounding in anthracite grey. So yeah, it looks okay. Let's go ahead and check out some of the tools we need. So we need Phillips head to fit the handle, has 2 screws for that, and then a Torx 25 bit. First things first, you need to attach all of your electric bits back up, your sensor for the door lock, your door release, and obviously if you've got electric windows and what have you, you need to set them back up as well. And then I'll be back with you. So you've got to line up the edge of the door card with that little guttering along the window edge, which runs all the way down and into there. Okay, once that's in, it should be firmly into place across the top. Just go around to this side, real snug up against the window, and obviously in that corner too. Now if you've got aftermarket windows like myself, this is the time that you want to fit those into place nicely. And then the next step we're going to do is we're going to fit the grab handle screws along with the grab handle. So push the grab handle in, and then you want to go ahead and tighten up your screws, but you obviously don't want to tighten them up too much. Just go ahead and finish this one quickly. Longer screw this side than the other. Nice, and she's on. And then I'll just place this bit in. Finishes that off quite nicely, so that looks really smart. Okay, so what you'll notice down the sides is you've got some poppers. Now when you pulled the door out, you had to give it a good old tug, but now you have to give it a bit of a whack. Okay, so that side's in, and there's one around here and here. Job done. Now, so it looks a bit brutal, but that's how you get it back on. And okay, and now there's some screw fittings. So the Torx screws, there's one on mine that goes in that hole there, and then I've only got 2 underneath. I've got one in here and one in here, but you'll notice most vans have got one in there, but I didn't have one in there, so I'm not going to put one back in there. Okay, so there you have it. The door card is back on the door, and personally I feel that that does look a lot smarter and feels kind of nice actually.